No gunshots, no headlights sweeping through the trees, just a phone vibrating quietly in the middle of the night. Close to midnight, a notification comes in from the home security system. Motion detected. Seconds later, the footage reveals a group of wild boars moving into the garden. They advance in a line, calm, methodical, no rush. This isn't the behavior of animals passing through by chance. It's the signature of a herd that knows this ground well. That tells us one thing clearly. This isn't a random visit. It's a well-established route. The real question now becomes, how do you stop the risk without putting people or the neighborhood in danger? Let's take a closer look. No one steps outside. Everything is monitored from inside the house, where decisions are made based on data, not instinct. A smart trap had been set weeks earlier, right along the trail the boars repeatedly used to approach the residential area. This wasn't guesswork. The location was chosen using night camera footage, tracks, and repeated movement patterns. The system combines night vision cameras, motion sensors, and a remotely controlled gate. Most importantly, it allows full control without direct contact, a critical factor when dealing with wildlife near homes. The herd pauses at the edge between forest and living space. They test the ground, root around, circle cautiously. A few individuals hang back, watching, reading the situation. This is the most dangerous moment. One wrong decision here, and the herd scatters, learns, and avoids traps forever. Then, one decision, timed perfectly. The gate drops cleanly. The herd is contained in a controlled space, fully separated from the neighborhood. No injuries, no noise. No one in the area even wakes up. A secondary camera deeper in the forest keeps rolling. Another group from the same herd changes direction. No panic, no chaos. They simply circle wider, searching for a new way in. That's textbook behavior when a familiar route is blocked. Instead of escalating force, a second trap is placed deeper, quieter, less obvious. The goal isn't speed, it's closing off re-entry completely and keeping the area stable in the nights ahead. What made that night special wasn't how many boars were controlled, it was when the decision was made. 30 seconds earlier, the herd could have split and spread. A few minutes later, fences, gardens, and living space might have taken real damage. Technology helps, a lot, but it can't replace human judgment or patience. The result came from preparation done long before, and a calm decision made at exactly the right moment.
We got Leafy Leaper over. People want a copy. But there they all are.
By morning, the garden is untouched. Proof that modern wildlife control is no longer about confrontation. It's about being proactive, safe, and responsible. This is what it looks like when humans manage conflict with intelligence and patience instead of panic. Situations like this will only become more common as the line between people and nature continues to shrink. In the next episode, we'll keep following how residential areas take control before conflict begins. Like, share, and subscribe to stay with us.
Run and go get the other ones now. Other one. Get the trailer. Get that trailer. Come on. No, no. Every time I smell that.
they get in, they're not getting out unless somehow they can work that out.
Bella. Oh, there she goes.
You might think this is a nature reserve, but it's not. This is Rome, the capital of Italy. These wild boar families are strolling through crowded neighborhoods as if they were the true owners of the streets. With an estimated population in the millions across Italy, wild boars are rapidly losing their fear of humans. Urban waste has become an easy food source, turning them into a serious threat to traffic safety and daily urban life. What's happening in Rome is a preview of what many suburban areas around the world are beginning to face, as the boundary between city and countryside slowly disappears. So, what's the answer to this growing problem? Instead of mass culling, many countries are choosing more sustainable population management strategies. Most notably, live capture trapping followed by professional handling. One of the most effective tools is the vertical guillotine-style trap. To outsmart such an intelligent animal, experts scatter corn and sweet potatoes along established trails for several days. This builds familiarity and a sense of safety before the trap is ever activated. Take a close look at the trap's design. The frame is welded from heavy-duty angle steel and round bars, strong enough to withstand the full force of an adult boar's charge. The guillotine door hangs above the entrance and, once triggered, drops straight down along steel rails, sealing the trap in a split second. Using either manual pull systems or remote triggers, operators aim to capture the entire sounder, not just individual animals. The door is only activated once the whole group is fully inside. This method prevents scattered survivors from learning, adapting, and returning to cause more trouble later. While box traps work well for smaller groups, areas with heavy wild boar pressure require a more flexible solution, the corral trap. With its large open space, this trap allows for mass capture without making the animals feel cornered, reducing panic and stress. Corral traps are typically set in pastures, forest edges, or heavily damaged agricultural zones. Thanks to their ability to capture entire herds in a single operation, corral traps are considered one of the most effective tools for large-scale wild boar management, protecting crops while meeting humane standards. Another option includes open-top enclosures that create a sense of openness, lowering the boar's natural suspicion. The key lies in the door systems, either one-way entrances or remotely triggered gates, allowing the entire herd to enter freely before closure. Choosing the right trap, placing it in the right location, and activating it at the right moment are critical to success. Not every situation requires herd capture. For isolated boars appearing in gardens, farms, or residential yards, single catch traps offer a simple and cost-effective solution. While they're not suitable for population explosions, they're highly effective for protecting individual properties. From simple cage traps to complex corral systems, each method plays a specific role in an overall wildlife management strategy. Whether the goal is protecting crops, neighborhoods, or ecosystems, the common thread is restoring balance between humans and nature. After a successful capture, the next step is safe handling and transport. Since large traps are usually fixed in place, wild boars are guided into smaller transfer cages, reducing struggle and minimizing injury risk. Depending on local wildlife regulations, suitable animals may be relocated to controlled zones, while others are handled using approved humane methods. As transport trucks roll away from residential areas, peace is restored for local communities, bringing a responsible control operation to a close. These traps are more than technical tools. They're proof that humans can learn to coexist with wildlife, rather than constantly confront it. In suburban areas, controlling wild boars isn't about using the strongest trap. It's about using the right tool for the right situation. When intervention is timely and well-planned, conflict can be prevented before it turns into a crisis. That's how communities can live more safely alongside a changing natural world. Wild boars don't move randomly. They don't appear out of sudden hunger or wander into fields by accident. Every footprint in the mud, every patch of upturned soil is the trace of a habit repeated night after night. At precise times, along familiar trails, the herd quietly leaves the forest, weaving through low trees toward harvested fields. Recognizing these recurring patterns is key to designing safe, responsible, and effective long-term control measures before damage occurs. After nights of observation, patterns emerge. Boars move in groups, always with a lead boar scouting the path. This lead individual doesn't rush into the fields. It stops, sniffs the wind, listens. Only when the environment is calm does the herd follow out of the forest. This behavior is not random. It's survival instinct developed over time. That's why effective control programs always begin with observation, not hasty intervention.
Because hogs are very
Direct pursuit often backfires. Noise scatters the herd, expands the area of intrusion, and increases risk to nearby residents. Modern control focuses on guiding behavior rather than confrontation. Net traps were chosen for their flexibility and adaptability to terrain. Crucially, this method allows precise control over numbers within a pre-planned area without causing panic or destabilizing the surrounding environment. A common mistake is placing traps along fast escape routes. The most effective placement is where the herd tends to pause, familiar feeding grounds, post-harvest fields, or open spaces at forest edges they often return to. The net is preset during the day, appearing open and familiar. From a distance, it blends naturally with the terrain, avoiding any sense of being blocked or forced. Feed is spread from the outer edge inward, guiding the boars seamlessly into the center. At night, the herd arrives as predicted. The lead boar enters first, cautiously checking the surroundings, then begins foraging. The trap's effectiveness comes not from sudden reactions, but from understanding and leveraging the herd's natural nocturnal rhythm, foundational to behavior-based control. In low-lying, damp fields, boars often stop to wallow and cool off. These are moments when they are least alert, offering the best opportunity to manage the herd with minimal stress, reducing risk of chaotic reactions. Between cultivated areas, where the herd pauses before scattering, net traps prevent widespread damage across multiple fields. This approach reduces both labor and costs for farmers, while minimizing the need for heavy-handed intervention.
They don't want them. Look at that. Look at that trap, y'all. No, so
The next morning, no new tracks appear. The usual trails are empty, and the previous point of entry is noticeably calm. Specialized vehicles are deployed to transport the captured boars under licensed wildlife management protocols. The process strictly follows community safety, legal, and environmental regulations. Data is recorded to support long-term monitoring and prevent reinfestation. Afterward, traps and surrounding areas are carefully dismantled, leaving no trace that could attract other herds. Net traps are not about showing force. They re-establish boundaries. When familiar paths are no longer safe, wild boars must adjust their behavior. This adjustment reduces pressure on crops, farms, and human livelihoods. Control is not confrontation. It's proactive boundary management, where humans manage shared spaces before damage forces reactive measures. Like and subscribe to follow our journey in protecting this land.
Hit that gate, Chip.